Picture this. A colossal full moon dominates the night sky. Beneath its pale glow, a wild figure bursts forth with supernatural energy. His magical staff, Nyoibo, is raised high in the air. A small, pretty-looking white rabbit is leaping in front of him. This is not a scene from modern manga or anime. It's a scene created more than 130 years ago by the Ukiyo-e master Tsukioka Yoshitoshi. The artwork is titled Gyokuto Son Goku. It's one of the masterpieces from Yoshitoshi's legacy Ukiyo-e series, 100 Aspects of the Moon. And surprisingly, hidden inside this Meiji-era woodcut print is the ancient origin of many elements that would later inspire Dragon Ball. The ancient story behind the artwork, The Journey to the West. Journey to the West is a super popular adventure epic from ancient China. This story is about the holiest of holy monks, Tripitaka. He is a deeply respected figure in the Buddhist world. The revered monk sets off on the journey to India to attain holy scripture, which unlocks the key to enlightenment. The way to India is not safe. The path is filled with dangers like threats from bandits, pirates, and monsters, unseen spirits, as well as various psychological temptations. So, he collected 3 trusted bodyguards to accompany him. His top lieutenant is Son Goku, the Monkey King. He was born from a supernatural stone on a mystic mountain peak. Then, this super monkey is trained in all the supernatural magic and tricks which you can think of under the sun. At first, he is selfish, defiant, and wild, like just a wild monkey. Impossible to control his impulse. Nobody can control him, as well as himself. However, the divine monk Tripitaka restrains him by trapping him into a divine headband which squeezes his head as the monk chants a sacred mantra. That bond turns the wild chaos of Son Goku into a fiercely loyal bodyguard, making him the most dazzling protector of the pilgrimage. His powerful character gives this epic journey wild, charismatic flavor. The second in line is Piggy. He is a piggish, impulsive pig spirit. His bottomless appetite for food, comfort, and flirtation with ladies constantly gets the group into trouble. He is lazy and complains a lot during the journey. But he is also tough when it matters, and his earthy humor and very human flaws add warmth and comic relief to the pilgrimage. And comes Sandy. He is a river ogre. He is calm, steady, and quietly loyal. The level-headed river monster gives a grounding presence between Goku's chaos and Pixie's antics. He carries the group's baggage, both literally and emotionally. He also fights when needed, of course. And moreover, he brings a sense of restraint and reliability to the pilgrimage of the journey to the West. So, probably you could say that Journey to the West is an ancient Chinese version of Lord of Rings, in a way. You know, the gang with colorful personalities and expertise travel through the wild land to achieve a great sacred goal. Okay, let's move another character in the scene. Check the tiny rabbit on the left. This ukiyo-e print catches the climax of a single episode of many in the epic adventure, Journey to the West. The small leaping white rabbit is the Jade Rabbit. Normally, she lives on the moon, and grinds the magic potion of immortality for the moon goddess. But one day, she gets enough. Enough of her boring routine life. Then, descends down to the earth. The naughty rabbit slips into the guise of a beautiful princess and slyly seduces the holiest of holy monks, Tripitaka, in order to drain his sacred power. This tiny rabbit is about to wreck the whole pilgrimage by transforming the revered monk into a man. Just like any other man, you know. But after some drama, the bright light of the full moon exposes her trick. Then, here comes Son Goku. The super monkey charges in. This is the scene of the moment that Yoshitoshi captures in ink. In a flash of the moonlight, the alluring disguise in a beautiful princess collapses, and the moon rabbit spirit snaps back into her original form, a small white rabbit. Another most striking feature of the artwork is the gigantic full moon dominating nearly the entire composition. At first glance, it almost feels excessive. The moon appears so enormous that one brings to wonder, who is the true protagonist of this artwork? Son Goku or the moon itself? This was not accidental. Yoshitoshi deliberately placed the moon at the center of the composition, because the moon itself plays a direct role in the climax of the story. Just as Goku corners the rabbit spirit, a divine voice descends from the heaven. It is goddess of the moon. Under the authority of the moon deity, the false princess loses her disguise and returns to her original form, the rabbit of the moon. In other words, the moon is not merely scenery. The moon is judgment. The moon reveals truth. The moon strips away illusion. Perhaps this is one of the deepest themes running throughout the Ukiyo-e series 100 Aspects of the Moon. Beneath moonlight, human beings and spirits alike return to their true nature. The hidden connection to Dragon Ball. For modern audience, this artwork contains another fascinating layer, because Son Goku, seen here, would eventually inspire the legendary Japanese anime Dragon Ball. The similarities are unmistakable. Son Goku, his name, the extending magical staff, Nyoibo, the flying cloud, Kinton, the monkey-like hero with overwhelming strength, and the adventurous pilgrimage structure of the storyline itself. In fact, early Dragon Ball was deeply influenced by Journey to the West before gradually transforming into a martial arts sci-fi sage. This means that when modern viewers look at Yoshitoshi's Gyokuto Son Goku, they are not only seeing Meiji-era Ukiyo-e woodcut print, they are also looking at one of the cultural ancestors of the masterpiece of modern Japanese manga and anime. The roots of modern pop culture stretch far deeper into mythology than many people realize. Modern Ukiyo-e. What makes this artwork so powerful is not simply its technical brilliance. It's the atmosphere, the enormous moon, the sense of supernatural tension, the collision between illusion and truth, the mixture of Buddhism, Chinese mythology, Japanese visual art, and timeless human imagination. More than 100 years later, this image still feels vividly alive. Perhaps that's because the moon itself has never changed. The same moon that watched over ancient travelers crossing the desert of Central Asia still hangs silently above us in the modern cities today. And beneath that moon, humanity continues telling stories about monsters, gods, temptation, fear, redemption, and the eternal desire to discover what is real. Thank you so much for watching. どうもありがとうございます。If you enjoy exploring Ukiyo-e, please tap like, subscribe, and leave your comments below. Your support truly fuels my passion. Ukiyo-e isn't just a Japanese art. It's a window into history, society, and spirit. As we discover each artist, each piece will not only explore Japan, but universal human truths we all share. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of amazing ukiyo-e arts out there. I will introduce them one by one, piece by piece. So join me in building ukiyo-e community where we can share these stories together. I hope to see you again in the next ukiyo-e story. Till then, さよなら。